Sports. We are back here in week 17 for the Pittsburgh Steelers as they embark on this journey to try to get this win against the Kansas City Chiefs. And good news on the injury front for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We will talk about that. But is this a must win for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Is this something that has to be done for them? Do they have to get in Acrisure Stadium, get a win here in Week 17 against the Kansas City Chiefs? That is the question that I want to ask. And I want to ask also, does George Pickens mean that much to this football team that they are incapable of getting a win without him? I also want to ask, what is the weird bullshit again with the McCole Pruitt, the Patterson shit? I understand they had a decent game, but that was one out of what, 16 that they've had that's been good, and they're putting those guys in fourth quarter situations. And I also want to ask also, are we going to lean more toward Najee Harris, or are we going to continue this theme that you saw in Baltimore with one Jaylen Warren? I seem to think Jaylen Warren is the best back that the Pittsburgh Steelers currently have on their roster. And I think Najee Harris, when you put him in there, you're going from 10, 12-yard gains with Jaylen Warren on a consistent basis to Najee Harris 2, 3, 4-yard gains, and it's a more slower pace of game. I think Najee Harris, in my opinion, is a more situational back as opposed to a guy that should be a down in, down out, every down guy for the Pittsburgh Steelers moving forward. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of Najee fans out there. I'm one of them. However, I'm not a fan of Najee Harris being the starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers any longer. I think it's a foolish thing for them to do. I think it's stupid to continue down that path when you have Jaylen Warren in there that is an explosive back, an explosive playmaker that adds a lot to this Pittsburgh Steelers roster. All right, guys, you need to double tap that screen for us. Hit that like button here on Steel City Live as we are back again this week. Miss Pittsburgh in the house. Wave those terrible towels. Inger, what's up? Armin in the house. Keep going. Let me make sure I got everybody. You guys are in there early. I appreciate that as we're only about 3 minutes into the show. Thank you for getting in there early, guys. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Double tap that screen. It's really easy to do. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh. Appreciate it. Who else? Daniel Warman is in the house. What's up, Daniel? I don't know if I mentioned you or not, man. I just seen that comment, making sure I did, though. Good to see you, buddy. And Merry Christmas to all of you already in the chat, and Merry Christmas to everybody. If you're not watching it now, you can watch it later. But so many questions remain, guys. And I want to talk about this tight AFC North match, or this tight AFC North race, and what it's going to come down to playoff scenario-wise. There's a lot to talk about here on a Monday, man, as we rapidly approach that Kansas City Chiefs game and what this is all going to mean for the Steelers. What's up? Inger says, I get what you all were talking about. Jaylen Warren is way better than Najee Harris from what I've seen. Yeah, he just supplies that explosiveness that you're not getting from Najee on a consistent basis. You get explosion here and there from Najee, but you never fear that he is going to hit a home run from anywhere on the field. And I think that dynamic alone puts the Pittsburgh Steelers backs against the wall in terms of who they have to start here. They've given Najee Harris the majority of this season to run away with things during Jalen's injury. But Najee has never been, during his Steelers career so far, that guy that can just hit a home run from anywhere. And if you're not that guy, but you have that guy on the roster, I don't know how you continue to sit the guy that can do that. I don't know how you continue to look away from Jaylen Warren, knowing what he can provide in the screen game, knowing what he can provide in that toss game that they run oh so much 7 times against Baltimore, which is ridiculous. But it's just something that has to be looked at. If you're Mike Tomlin, I think he was asked that question of, how do they determine who's going to be in there? And he gave the bullshit answer about situation and things of that nature, which we all know there is going to be situational management in terms of who you have in at running back. But the big key is here, he was saying, I leave it up to Eddie Faulkner on who he puts in there. I don't meddle in that. However, I think he should meddle in that, and I think he should advise Eddie, which I think he has, but he doesn't want to give too much into what's going on. I think he has told him, hey, man, we need to see a lot more Jalen Moore, and that explosion is something that we have to see. And if Mike's smart, that's what he had the conversation with one Eddie Faulkner. All right, guys, you got to double tap that screen for us here on Steel City Live. Make sure you hit the like button for the best show in the universe. Here on YouTube, the best live show out there. We appreciate you guys. We make sure you guys are included. I moved you up to my little phone holder, my little camera holder here today to bring you a little bit closer. I don't know if I like the far away look or this look. I'm still kind of figuring it out, but we're gonna keep going through the chat. Again, y'all need to get Jalen off the bench. Agreed, man. Armin, bro, nothing but love for your channel, but this will be a very difficult matchup against the Chiefs. Amen, Armin. You aren't telling me anything there, brother. I agree with you 1,000%. The Chiefs are a championship football team, my friends. You can't overlook that fact. You can't overlook that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback on the planet. You can't overlook the weapons they possess offensively and defensively. You can't overlook the fact that they've finally got, I think, their line combination correct to where they're even going to be a little bit more proficient offensively. Also, Patrick Mahomes just gets it done, guys, and championship football teams just know how to win, and they'll figure it out. And even when their back's against the wall inside of a football game, they just find ways to get it done. And that's what the Chiefs have been able to do here so far through 2024, and there's no doubt about that. But I do think the Steelers do possess an advantage being at home here this week. Both teams playing on 3 days rest, which is absolutely ridiculous. 3, 4, whatever it is. But yeah, I got to give the home team the nod in that situation, whether you're the Kansas City Chiefs or not. It's just going to be difficult to travel to Pittsburgh to put and formulate a game plan together in order to defeat the Steelers on their home turf if the crowd is into it. Now, I know Chiefs Kingdom travels very, very well, and that's something that they've always done. I've been to Steelers Chiefs games in Pittsburgh, and Chiefs fans always have traveled well. That was even before they started this run with Patrick Mahomes actually winning some games and championships and things of that nature. So yeah, they've always done that. They've always been big, but I believe that you got to give the edge to the home team here, and the Steelers have great news along that injury front. George Pickens, full participant today. Deshaun Elliott, full participant. I believe Larry Ogunjobi was also. I'm not sure. I have to look into it. I believe you might even get Dirty Red back, who's a great special teams player. There's a lot of key guys that could perhaps be back in the fold for the Steelers, and I don't think people really truly recognize how much Deshaun Elliott really meant to the Steelers in terms of what he brought to the game, because without him, they have been out of whack, man. They have truly been out of whack defensively, and you don't expect that from the highest paid defense in the league. You don't really think that one guy makes that much of a difference. But these guys were put together like a puzzle. And when one puzzle piece is missing, that's an incomplete system, an incomplete puzzle. And now you got to figure out ways to overcome that. And Dermonte KZ wasn't the answer back there. He has not played well this year, if you ask me, when he has been in there in his limited opportunities. I think it makes Minka not as good of a player without Deshaun. And I know a lot of people have Minka Fitzpatrick hate right now, and I understand it. I get it. The splash plays aren't there. You were used to Minka making pick sixes, making big interceptions. But, you know, things are different. Schematics are different. You got to look at it in a little bit different way of what he is providing. But you do want those interceptions. You do want those things from him. And no doubt about it, he needs to do more of those to warrant that contract that he has. Ravens win is good. Yeah, not good for us. Good for you, though, Inger. Congratulations to you, man. And Merry Christmas to you, too. Najee does his tries to hurdle somebody to get highlight reel. He doesn't want to win games. Jalen does. It's big difference. I wasn't able to get there Thursday because I was at a Christmas party. Oh, it's all good. Anger, we appreciate anytime you come in here, buddy. Daniel Warman says, everything you said around this year's draft has come true. It's true. Everything is going down to the last week of the season. Philly's hex is real. Yeah, you saw that, guys. We told you, man, the curse of Myron Cope is real, man, and you guys out there in NFL fandom know that. Whether you root for the Steelers or not, you've seen this curse many times, and I don't believe in superstitious shit. I don't believe in any of this weird shit. But that one thing, the Myron Cope curse, I believe in it wholeheartedly. I've seen it come true too many times, and I truly believe that that is a direct result. What you saw Sunday, and congratulations, Philly fans, you now get the misery to watch Kenny Mittens while Jalen Hurts undergoes the concussion protocol. Hopefully he is back sooner than later. I never want to see injury to anybody, especially a head injury or anything significant, man. I hope Jalen Hurts heals and gets back to full strength. It's always great to see the best players out there playing. You never want to see these guys injured, but definitely. Ash, baby, what's up? And Albie Gaming, my girl got... Oh, hold on, man. No, Kermit Mahomes sucks. The glaze is crazy. Anger refs help them too much. I can't disagree. I think the refs do show a little bit of partial shit to the Chiefs. I'm not gonna lie there. I mean, it's obvious. Everybody in the world sees it. It's not just me. I'm not just saying that. It's kind of blatant. Armin, mad probs to the best YouTube channel on the planet. Thank you, Armin. Appreciate you, my friend. Good to always have you, Anger. People say Chiefs are a dynasty, but a dynasty doesn't need help. True. True, but they are. They are a dynasty right now. What would solidify it really is if they won that third Super Bowl in a row, or, you know, a lot of dynasties will have that year gap. You look at the Steelers, they won a couple year gap, won a couple, that type of thing. You look at the Patriots, they did something similar. The dynasties, the true dynasties in the league, win 4 out of 6 years, 5 out of 6, 7 years. That's what dynasties are, 2 isn't a dynasty for me. I need to see 4 probably for a dynasty, in my opinion. I think 4 qualifies as a true dynasty. That gives you what, guys? Basically a decade of dominating. And that is what a dynasty is. A true decade of winning championships, being there in the hunt, always being consistent. And that's what a dynasty is to me. But that's for another day conversation. Tyrone Johnson in the house. Why Steelers didn't make the move for Johnson? Well, here's the thing, guys. Deontay Johnson is a locker room cancer. The guy's in there fighting people and shit. The guy's just, he's something else, man. And honestly, this is it. The Steelers just weren't going to bring him in there. And sorry, the Texans brought him in. Honestly, where does he have the best opportunity to rejuvenate his career? It's going to be in Texas. Why? Because their wide receiver room, probably one of the deepest, if not the deepest in the league to start the season, has been totally decimated by injury, and that is where he is going to be able to get his most opportunity. And honestly, if he had a couple teams to choose from, that's probably the team that he would probably choose to go to. But Deontay Johnson is just one of those guys, man, that you just don't want a chance bringing into the locker room, in my opinion. Let's keep going. Robert Rowe, Minka was one of the bright spots on defense against the Ravens. I thought so. Tyrone Johnson, yes, Steelers going to draft Luther Burden. You know more about that than me, man. I have not done any type of draft stuff, guys, so I apologize for that. He's not going to do anything, but did you see DJ? Yes, he went to Texans. Mike Miller in the house. Can we beat Kansas City Chiefs on our stadium, Steelers Nation? Yes, we can. The answer is yes, guys. And for all you people out there that want to just say this, and I'm not dogging you, and I understand why you're saying it. You're like, the Steelers are done. They're washed. They're toast. They're not going to win another game. I get why you're saying it. But look at this thing and without the emotional goggles on. Take all of your fandom off of you. Rip it off. Take all your shirts off. Take the terrible towels off. Block this background out and look at it from an outsider's point of view. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost to 2 very good football teams on the road in their house late in the season when a lot was on the line. I get it. That happens. And they were missing key players, which isn't the only excuse that I'm making. I know people get crazy about that because every team has injuries, but there was a lot of factors there. And the Pittsburgh Steelers losing those two games didn't automatically disqualify them from doing anything else for the rest of the season. And I got to be honest about that. And I love Steelers Nation, but we are very overreacting type of a fan base. We overreact way too much, and we have an expectation, and the standard shouldn't just be mediocrity, which is what Mike Tomlin's brought to this franchise over the last decade. Mediocrity is acceptable. Just being okay is acceptable. Living in our fears is acceptable. Not taking chances, being loyal to people you shouldn't be loyal to. Mike Tomlin's brought that, but then he's brought some other good things too. So you got to take the good with the bad, and this is part of that. When you lose two games to two good football teams, you got to take the good with the bad. You got to look at it all, man. Take the emotional goggles off and make sure you are looking at it from an outsider's point of view and perspective. And I think that will maybe brighten some things up for you a little bit and give you a little bit of hope here if you're a Steelers fan. All right, guys, you got to double tap that screen for me here on Mike Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live. We truly appreciate it. Again, we brought you in a little bit different with a different view tonight. We usually are back a little bit farther, but we've been trying this here and there. So make sure you're double tapping that screen. It's fucking free, my friends. Make sure you're hitting it. It's free. It's cheap. It's easy. It doesn't cost you a damn thing to double tap that screen and hit that like button. I want to get to 60 or 70 likes tonight, so let's try to do that. And I can only do that with your help, guys. If you guys wanted me to continue to always do these things, make your voice be heard each and every day, that's what you got to do is hit that like button. All right, let's keep going. Robert Rowe, we did that. Daniel Warman, your comments on the Bengals were so nice to hear. I wish we had a defense to make the playoffs. Thank you for your kind words. Yeah, I'm just calling it like I see it, Daniel. The Cincinnati Bengals have a Super Bowl offense. They can beat anybody with that offense, and that's being honest. And I gotta shoot it to you straight. And if the Bengals were bad, I'd say they were bad, but they're not bad. What's bad about the Bengals is this: their defense is absolutely horrible. And they've had a couple shining moments, but they've never been able to really truly come together as a group. And I don't want to say it's schematics because they have veteran play callers. I don't know what it is, and I can't pinpoint why they're so bad defensively. But that's what their Achilles heel is. And that's why good teams beat them, because they can't score enough points to outweigh how poor that defense is playing. And that's a sad thing. When you have probably the best or second best or one of the top three quarterbacks in the league, in my opinion, and Joe Burrow, if not the best, he ranks right up there, guys, with Patrick Mahomes. It's sad to see because you want to have those moments where when you do have those franchise guys, those franchise quarterbacks in place, you want to win those championships. You want to seize those moments, and you don't want to watch those opportunities pass you by. And when do teams typically win Super Bowls with those real good quarterbacks? They win them early in their careers, guys. And that's the facts. Why? Because it's too hard to put a team around them, especially in the salary cap. You know, when you're paying a quarterback exuberant amounts of money, it's very hard and difficult to put that team around them. That's why you usually see early career success from these quarterbacks, then it's a drowning out period a little bit in the middle usually, and then they'll have late career resurgence. Why? Because they might take a little less money, they might do things like that. Those are the facts, and people don't look at it that way. Now, Patrick Mahomes is a little bit of an outlier. He and the Ravens, or he and the Chiefs have been excellent at negotiating and navigating his salary to still pay him big monster dollars, but yet still keep a football team around them, and that has to be credit to their front office staff, that scouting department, Andy Reid, just what they do in order to make sure that he has players around him to be successful. But again, he is a little bit of an outlier because he is just a notch above everybody else. He has that winner's gene, guys, and you can't teach that. You can't teach that winner's mentality. That is something that has to be in you. That's something that you have to grow up with, that you have to have early in your life. That's not anything that somebody can teach you through the coaching staff. Miss Pittsburgh, good evening, Steelers Nation. Make sure you wave that terrible towel and hit the shit out of that like button for us. Appreciate that. Tyrone Johnson, who's the best safety coming in the 2025 draft? I don't know, Tyrone. I apologize, buddy. Again, guys, I have done no research into the draft. Now, all summer I will have some gems for you. I talked about Peyton Wilson last year. I talked about Zach Frazier last year. I talked about a lot of people. You guys had excellent picks that you were talking about. So we will do that all summer long after this season. We will go hard on it. But I have not done enough research. I cannot give you any answer about any college guys because, quite frankly, I think the college game is boring. I think it's a waste of my time to watch other than scouting future NFL players. College football, in my eyes, is a very tainted business, and it's just something that I'm not entertained by for some reason. I cannot get into it at all. I like Pitt. But they typically aren't very good, so I really don't pay attention to it. I live literally right beside WVU, and people here are absolute fanatics over that football team, and they're absolutely dog shit. They lose year after year, but yet get so much support, people pouring money into it. I don't understand the appeal, but yes, when we get out of this NFL season, I will definitely turn my attentions to all that. Armin, what a great squad of Kansas City. Yeah, they got a lot of players, man. I won't name them all because it take me a second. But if you guys want to see the names he listed, look at Armin's comments. Sam Mason, bad idea to get super healthy, rest everyone, and smash the Bills in round one. I don't think it's a bad idea, but honestly, man, I prefer a home playoff game, but I don't think it's the end-all, be-all. I think getting healthy probably is the most important thing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why go out there and kill yourself to win the AFC North and continue to have injuries, get people, back that aren't quite ready just to win the AFC North? I don't think it matters that much. And I think a healthy football team inside of the playoffs is what truly matters because everybody's going to be beat up. I would rather go down to Texas and play the Houston Texans in round one. I would love to do that. I would love to be the 5 seed, honestly, and go play that Texans team down in Houston. That's, in my eyes, with the health of their wide receiver core and the way that they've been stumbling a little bit, they only have 9 wins. I would welcome that matchup as opposed to some of these other ones. I think that's a favorable matchup that gets you put into the round of number 2 and gets you maybe pushing along a little bit and maybe get you some momentum. Because that's the key, too, in the playoffs, guys, is building that momentum, man. And that's why also, on the other side of the coin, getting a couple wins before you go into the playoffs is good just to get that momentum built also. All right, guys, we got to hit the shit out of that like button. We only got 16. That's not like us. We need to get that likes up. Double tap that screen. It's free. It's easy. It's cheap. Make sure you do it. We'll continue through the chat. Robert Road, when a player's waived, the teams with the worst records get the first dibs on them. The Texans at 9-6 had the option to claim DJ before the Steelers ever got a chance. We don't need him anyhow. Yeah, I don't know how all that works, man. I don't. I really, truly, honestly don't. I hate to say it, guys, to be honest. I really, truly look at the football team that's there. When they add players, so be it. Now the draft's a little bit different story. I'd look at those guys. But I just kind of focus on the team that's there because you know what? You can speculate and wish and want. And like Robert says, we don't need that guy anyway. You don't want to contaminate your locker room. And I think he does just that, is contaminates a locker room. Is Roman Wilson still hurt? Yeah, you're not going to see Roman Wilson here in the 2024 season. Mike Miller. I had a really good Steelers stuff. Christmas big bling when you go to a Steelers game. Steelers. Oh, nice, bro. Anger, man, I was screaming at the top of my lungs for the pick. Arlen Humpy. But one big thing I learned from the game was the Ravens defense is legit. I wouldn't call it legit, honestly. I think it's better. I don't think it's still I don't think it's tops in the NFL. I don't think that. That Marlon Humphrey interception was a very poorly thrown football, to be honest, Inger, by Russell Wilson, which was the second big mistake that he made in that football game. And that was so far behind his receiver, McCole Pruitt, that was a gift to Marlon Humphrey. That wasn't anything skill-wise that Marlon Humphrey did that was significant. He was just right place, right time. And to be honest with you, too, Russell Wilson slides down there instead of going and trying to be superhuman and score the points. When you're behind, as the Baltimore Ravens typically are when they play the Steelers, they aren't the same team when they play from behind. When they play from behind, they panic, and they are not good playing from behind against the Steelers. Now, maybe other teams, they can battle back and fight, but when that Ravens team gets behind, that has to be your worst nightmare, Inger. If you are a Baltimore Ravens fan and you're watching that team, when they get behind, that's got to scare the shit out of you because they stop doing what the Ravens do best. And that's exactly what gets them in trouble against the Steelers. And that's why their record is so poor. And that's why they've only had 2 wins in the whole time Lamar Jackson's been there against the Steelers. So, that's the issue. But it is what it is. I think the Ravens defense has significantly gotten better on the back end, no doubt about it. But they are not a Super Bowl defense. Now, their offense is a Super Bowl caliber offense, but playing from behind, it's not a Super Bowl caliber offense, if you catch my drift. They're not a good team playing from behind, down points against the Steelers specifically. AFC North teams, maybe they do better against like the Bengals or somebody that has a real shitty defense. But if you have a decent to good defense and you get ahead of the Ravens, you can pretty much win that ball game, and that's the facts. Now, I'm being honest. This is truthful shit. If you watch this is real truthful, and I try to deliver that truth to you guys each and every day. So I don't ever want to get people's hopes too overly high. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh. Trav, the bad is outweighing the good. Yeah, you're going to have those patches, though, Trav. You're going to have those issues, man. This is the NFL, guys. Again, I got to remind you, the margins are razor thin. And I know fans don't want to hear that. And I know fans don't want to hear that you're going to lose ball games and that you're going to have tough times. You're going to have trials and tribulations. And I understand that we live in a society of instant gratification. You want shit now. But that's not how this journey works, my friends. You have to travel the bumpy roads. You have to fight through adversity. That's what builds championship football teams. That's what builds character in football teams. And these last 2 games are character building games. You went up against good teams and you beat yourself. They didn't just flat out beat you. You beat yourself. You had opportunities to win both of those games. You had opportunities to take control of both of those games. And those 2 teams can get into the playoffs and do something special. They have those types of rosters. Now, will they do it? I don't know. The Eagles are cursed and Lamar can't win a big game. That might hinder both of those teams. But now you're coming up against the Chiefs, and I think you take the lessons that were learned on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens, and you apply that to a very short week here against the Chiefs. I think that the Chiefs are a very, very good football team, but again, it's difficult to play on the road with 3 days preparation. It's very, very difficult. And that might be the saving grace for the Steelers, guys. You look at the Ravens, they got to go on the road to Houston, also on a short week. So how's that going to pan out? I wouldn't want to be the road team on the short week. That's what I'm saying. And the Steelers were the road team 2 weeks in a row on short weeks. And it's not good, guys. And you see what happens. You see what transpires. All right, guys, we got to double tap that screen. Hit that like button or hit the 3 little white dots up in the right-hand corner of your screen. Bring down that like box and hit it. It's free. It's easy. It's cheap. I want to hit 60, 70 likes here while we're on the live stream. So make sure you do it. It's free. It helps your creators. If you want quality content to listen to each and every day from a perspective of truth, not a perspective of clickbait, make sure you're hitting that like button because there is no clickbait here. And we are just telling you the God's honest truth each and every day. Thank you for hitting that like button. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh, Daniel Warren. And all of the games the Bengals lost, I'm surprised I don't need a pacemaker. Home field means a lot. Steelers beat the Chiefs if the offensive line gives Wilson time. Yeah, Daniel, you bring up a really good point. Home field does mean something, no doubt about it. I won't downplay it. I think health means probably the most out of everything when you're talking playoff football. I think being the most healthy team gets you a lot farther maybe than home field. That's just my theory. I think they're close, though, neck and neck in terms of their importance. But this is the real truth that you spoke in your comment here. The trenches. Do the Steelers win in the trenches on Christmas Day? That is the question, because that is what's going to win this football game. Again, guys, very short week for both teams. Very little preparation. It's going to come down to who can beat who up the most on short rest. That's really what it's going to come down to. Please do not spam my chat. Whoever you are trying to sell something, let me report you. Report. Thank you. Let me remove you and put you in timeout. There we go. Sorry. And put user in timeout. 24 hours. Thank you. Guys, I don't want no ads on my shit, man. I work very hard. I make very little money here. I don't want people to piggyback off of my shit and put ads in there. If you are a creator that you're trying to promote your channel, ask me first, and I'm always willing to help promote your stuff. But please be respectful and ask me first. Don't come in here putting ads in my shit. I'm not appreciative of that. It's hard to catch them kitten mittens duck passes. Amen. Meow. Kenny Kitten Mittens. Oh, they loved him for the first couple minutes. And then once he lost them the game, throwing those horrible interception and shit. Marty's hairline. Justin Fields is that franchise guy. Not in Pittsburgh. He's just not. I think Russ will get a contract extension. You're probably looking at somebody, in the realm of $25 million per season is what I project Russell Wilson to get. Because I think he wants to win football games. I think somebody does pay Justin Fields. He's just not that guy, and he's not better than Russell Wilson in the pass game right now. Athletically, he is. He's very gifted, and I applaud Justin Fields for his contributions to this football team early in the season. He was the glue. He held this football team together, and that is a far cry from what he did in Chicago, and you have to applaud the work and the improvement that Justin Fields did over the offseason in order to put himself in that position after a very tumultuous relationship with the Chicago Bears. Constant turnover there, constant horrible environment to play in, but Justin was able to get out of there and able to resurrect himself a little bit. And that 4-2 record that he possesses here for this 2024 season as a starter is going to make him a hefty bag of money in the offseason. I can guarantee that. SKJOD, holy hell, finally a freaking YouTube live worth watching. Let's go black and gold. Just subscribe. Thank you, man. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate that truly. Wave that terrible towel, Miss Pittsburgh. Appreciate it. Tyro Johnson, Mike Vick, head coach here in Norfolk, Virginia. Yeah, guys, I want to give a shout out to big Mike Vick, man. One of my favorite guys in the NFL. I understand his legal stuff. We're not going to go there, but in terms of a football player, one of my favorite players. And now he is the head coach at Norfolk State, I think it's called, right there in his hometown. So that is awesome for Mike Vick to be doing that as the head coach of the guy in Norfolk. Joshua Shields, good evening. Ladies and gentlemen of Steelers Nation, make sure you give Joshua Shields a shout out. Thank you, Josh. Good evening to you. What's up, Jason? I'm happy. Want to know why I just got a Lamar jersey present for my... That's awesome, man. You better give your grandpa a big hug and a kiss, man. Told him thank you. That's awesome. Your grandpa did that. Those jerseys aren't cheap, so that's very, very cool, Winger. You got a good grandpa, my friend. Craig Werlo, I feel bad for Tank. The injury is pretty bad. Yeah, I put a short up, and I'm not going to leave it up forever because I think it's horrible. But I'm going to take it down. I just wanted people to see it and get to know what was going on with Tank Dell. But that was a very, very bad injury. Saints fan, what's up? No Face Retro Gamer. NFL gotten too soft. I hate watching it. I could see why you said that, definitely. I still am watching it, though. Craig Werlo, think they should hold out Porter till playoffs. Yeah, you won't see him. I don't believe his knee injury this week. I think Porter will be out. Again, George Pickens was a full participant. Deshaun Elliott was a full participant. So definitely very encouraging news on that injury front for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Definitely something that got to be something hopeful for Steelers fans for this team to get it back on track. And again, guys, this is very hard to come into a game on 3 days rest on Christmas Day when your heart's with your family. You want to be playing, you want to be home. You want to be with your family on Christmas Day, not playing football. Traveling, coming to Pittsburgh, facing the fan base, just all the high level of adversity that's put against that away team is going to be something that has to be factored into this football game. And I think they hand the Chiefs their second loss of the season, moving the Kansas City Chiefs to 14-2. Then I think the Chiefs win their final game, securing the number one seed in the AFC playoffs. The Steelers secure the AFC North crown. And I think that's how this all unfolds. Now, I may be wrong, but that's exactly what I'm seeing right now as somebody that looks at this team every single day and looks at the NFL, tries to look at the NFL as a whole, but it's very hard. Also, guys, we got to hit that like button. We only got 23 likes. We've been up with a very steady concurrent viewer mark. We need to get that like button hit, though. Double tap that screen or bring your three little white dots up here in the right-hand corner of your screen. Hit that and hit the like for us. If you're watching on TV or something, you're going to have to hit like later when you get to a mobile device, I believe. I don't think you can do it on the PC, or not on PC, on the TV. And I know some of you do watch on TV. Craig Warlow, we did that. Raul, as a Bills fan, beat the Chiefs, please. Hey, you might get your wish. I think there's an excellent opportunity for that. Sadly, I think that it's just going to be a tiny bit too little too late for the Bills to gain that number one seed. They've had a great year. I just think they'll be the two. This will be my prediction, guys, and I'll give it to you now. Chiefs 1, Bills 2, Steelers 3, and the Texans as the 4 seed. That's how I think this all unfolds, the division winners. The Chiefs already won theirs. The Bills already won theirs. The only one that's up for grabs is the AFC North, to be honest. And that's going to come down to the bitter end. No face retro gamer. Steelers are not going anywhere with that garbage head coach. He couldn't win with Big Ben. To be fair, Big Ben was at the end of his career, and I'm not saying Tomlin doesn't have his deficiencies, but I think Steelers fans are a little critical right now and a little salty after 2 losses, and I don't blame Steelers Nation for that, but I do blame them for being a little bit overly hype. Again, you got to put it in perspective, guys. You lost to 2 good football teams, playoff football teams that have been in a mix for the last couple years, that have franchise quarterbacks in place. You on the road, on short weeks. 2 short weeks in a row. It's going to happen, guys. But you have to look at the silver lining. They had their opportunities to win, and those teams just didn't beat the shit out of the Steelers. That wasn't the case. The Steelers shot themselves in the foot with several things that occurred during both of those ball games. But guess what you got to do? You got to package them both up, crumble them into a ball, and throw them into the garbage can, because that was last week, guys. This is this week. Christmas Day. That's what means something right now. Christmas Day. And if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you got to be singularly focused on this week, my friends. You can't look past anything. You can't look into the future for the playoffs. You can't look behind you at what happened over the last couple weeks, over the last 10 days. You can't look at that. You have to look at what's in front of you, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs. And they stand between you and that AFC North crown that you let slip through your hands in Baltimore. And I know everybody wants to crown the Ravens like they're going to be Super Bowl champions, but that's not the case, my friends. Just put it behind you and let it go. These people with their ads, my friends. I guess that must be flattering, guys. When people come in and throw ads in your channel, maybe that's flattering because that must mean that you get views, I guess. But man, we only get a few thousand, couple thousand here and there. Some nights we don't. It just depends on the week, I guess. Let's keep going. Let's go Skins from Andrew Williams. Commanders rule. Robert Road. After seeing Roman Wilson shaking a tambourine when they were doing Christmas music at the Steelers facility, I am now calling Roman Wilson Mr. Tambourine Man. I hope he can be a player, wide receiver someday. I have high hopes. I think Roman will be fine next year, but that's funny, Ro. Mr. Tambourine Man. Oh, I remember. Yeah, nice. Andrew, hail? Hell what? All right, guys, you got to hit the shit out of that like button, man. Over 55 of you watching. Make sure you hit that like button. It's fucking free, my friends. Mike Miller, we miss you. We miss you, Ben Roethlisberger. Let's go Steelers Nation. I don't miss Big Ben. I know a lot of you do, but old Big Ben wasn't my favorite to watch, man. It wasn't. Old Big Ben was a shell of himself, and I loved young Big Ben. But man, I was happy when he retired because old Big Ben just wasn't it, man. No face retro gamer, y'all. Ownership is great, but Mike acts like his didn't all this. He hasn't won jack shit since he's been there. Yeah, he's won a Super Bowl. I mean, he's played in 2 Super Bowls, coached in 2 Super Bowls rather. So he's done some stuff, no doubt about it. He just hasn't done anything lately, and the last decade has been abysmal, and his playoff record is absolutely dog shit. It is. But let's see if he can right that ship here in 2024. Again, everybody's writing the Pittsburgh Steelers off, and as a Steelers fan, that's where I like to be, baby. I like to be the underdog. I like when all the national media jumps on the bandwagon of dogging the Steelers, talking about they don't belong in the class of the Bills, Chiefs, and Ravens. They don't belong there. But just forget a few short weeks ago, they were all sweating the Steelers nuts, talking about that they are a real Super Bowl contender. Do you all remember that? But yet you all turn on those channels still. You all still give those people clicks. You all still like their shit. Don't do it because they're frauds. All they're doing is going with the flavor of the day. They're not giving you the real perspective of what's going on. They want to just go with the flavor of the week. Oh, that irritates me sometimes. Hog National, here we go. Skins. Still, Nation should keep heads up. Yeah, we will, bro. We will, Andrew. Raul, rooting for you guys. Thank you, Raul. Rooting for you guys too, man. You guys, definitely, I got to say this too. Everybody will dog Bills fans and shit, say they're crazy, but I got to say this, running this channel, every time we've played the Bills, the Steelers played the Bills, or any time that Bills fans come in, they've always been very respectful, so I definitely got to salute you guys for that. Yes, they did, but he got hurt too. Mike Miller, okay, Steelers Nation, let us win. Win it for who? Ben Roethlisberger. Oh, I love you, Mike, man. I love you. Andrew, love 757 coach. You got how that taste Saturday? What taste? A loss for the first time in God knows how long from the Steelers or from the Ravens. It really didn't taste bad when you don't lose to a team for so long. You just expect to lose one here and there. I mean, they're supposedly our rival, but that's only the second time Lamar Jackson's ever beat the Steelers, and he's a second contract, $50+ million a year quarterback that's never won an AFC championship game, that's never won a Super Bowl, that's never won any type of championship in his collegiate or professional career. So it didn't really taste that bad because we usually play the Ravens very well, and we actually own them. Just simply look back from the record from just say 2020 till present day, and the Pittsburgh Steelers absolutely dog walk the Baltimore Ravens 99.9% of the time. Just that's just what it is. Let's keep going. Go Skins though. I applaud Russ, but he gotta go. That's from JG Black. I think he's playing good football, man. He made 2 mistakes, guys. That's going to happen. He tried to do a little bit more. He knew George was out. He wanted to score. He fumbled the ball. And then Mink got that ball back with that pick, and Russ made another error. Those games happen, guys. That happens. And overall, if I'm going to judge Russell Wilson on what he's done, he's played above his station. He's been very, very good here, considering his age and what has transpired throughout the last couple years of his career. Black and Gold, think we might get this one against the Chiefs? I think you got a good chance here, man. No doubt about it. I'm in Norfolk, Virginia now. Well, you got Mike Vick, and that's the home of Mike Tomlin, isn't it? Mike Vick deserves that. Naughty by Norfolk, 757 Vice from New York. Let's keep going. Nice was born in Norfolk General Hospital. I have a number 2 hoodie for Christmas, Justin Fields. There you go, man. Nothing like a little Justin Fields gear for Christmas, man. That's awesome. I wish I'd have got my merch out before Christmas, man. Maybe I could have sold some merch to everybody. We could have had some mic drop shirts. Again, guys, we got to double tap that screen. We need to get up to like 60, 70 likes here on the live stream at least. We'd like to hit 100 likes. That's the goal. But like at least let's get up to 60 or 70 likes. There's almost 70 of you concurrently viewing right now. So let's double tap that screen and hit that like button for us, or hit those 3 little white dots up in the right-hand corner of your screen. You guys are lost without Pickens. I wouldn't say that. They had their opportunities, guys. They shot themselves in the foot. Does it matter, and is it a significant loss? Absolutely. He's your top playmaker, no doubt about it. But I think they're finding a little bit of magic, too, with guys like Jalen Warren. Calvin Austin has really stood up and played really, really well. Pat Freiermuth is just ignored, but when he is targeted, he is absolutely the epitome of efficiency. He has one drop, tutties all over the place. Pat Freiermuth has been an absolute shining spot for this team, but yet is ignored by Arthur Smith for guys like McCole Pruitt and Cordell Patterson. I think Arthur Smith needs to quit trying to bring back his Atlanta Falcons team that's a little bit washed up and a little bit too old, and focus on the playmakers and quit trying to outsmart himself. That's what he's doing, guys. Yes, he brought in Pruitt and Patterson from familiarity. He wanted those guys, Scotty Miller, guys that were familiar with his system. He brought those guys in for that single purpose, and that's okay. You do that when you're in a new place. You want to bring some guys in that have some familiarity with your system. I understand that, but Arthur's trying to outsmart himself right now, guys. He's like thinking to himself, oh, they're not going to expect Prue. They're not going to expect Patterson to get the ball. Well, bullshit they are, because you do it constantly. You have Patterson and Pruitt in the fourth quarter in significant high-value moments. They need to be on the fucking bench. Sorry, that's where they need to be. They need to just be players for sporadic breaks for your starters. They don't need to be involved. I'm sorry. It's the truth. And I know they both scored, but that's 1 out of how many games, guys? They've been in there all season. They're not productive. And Arthur Smith, again, is out trying to outsmart himself a little bit, and it's working. All right, guys, double tap that screen. Hit that like button for me while I get a drink. Andrew Norfolk, Jen, Challenger 22 and a half. 52 years ago, the Immaculate Reception. 54 years ago, yours truly was born. Well, happy birthday to you, Challenger. We appreciate that and appreciate you as always, my friend. And yes, guys, 52 years ago, the Immaculate Reception for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was a real turning point in the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise, my friends. It was one of those significant key moments that you'll never forget. And God rest his soul, Franco Harris, one of the all-time great Steelers. And definitely a real moment for Pittsburgh Steelers fans to always celebrate. Let's keep going. West Coast Berg, do you think Tomlin is waiting till the team is healthy to actually give true effort? No, I think they've been giving true effort. I think what they've been doing is a little bit overextending themselves, actually trying to just get this thing shored up. But hopefully, when they get healthy here, things will be a little bit different. And I'm a firm believer in that. Health and home field advantage, those are probably the 2 most important things going into the playoffs. And I'd rather have one over the other, and that's health. And if I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm not saying that I don't care about these games, but I don't care about these games. I want my team to be healthy. I'd rather be the 5th seed, guys. I hate to tell you all that. I'd rather be the 5th seed. I'd rather go to Houston to play the Texans in round 1. Why not? They're hurt. They're hurt bad. Why not go down there and play? Why wouldn't you want that? We need a Christmas miracle from Challenger 22. Yeah, man, I think they're going to win. I really do, and I know a lot of people don't think so. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh. Let's go Steelers Nation. Beat the Chiefs on our turf. Let's go Steelers Nation. Absolutely. Sorry, guys, I'm not reading the ones you guys are talking back, so if I miss anybody, just let me know and put it back in. Challenger says, I hope the Chiefs don't bring the refs. Guys, it's sad. Everybody notices how favored the Chiefs are in terms of some of the refereeing questionable calls that are given to the Chiefs, and we all understand that. It's not fiction. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's fact. It is what it is. I guess that's what happens when you got the best quarterback on the planet. You know what I mean? All right, guys, there's almost 100 of you. We're getting up there, so make sure you're double tapping that screen. Let's get up to 70 likes, 60 likes here on the live stream on Steel City Live. And the best channel on YouTube for NFL content, Steelers content is here. Mike Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason, as always. Again, guys, double tap that screen. It's free. Hit the shit out of it. It don't cost you a damn dime, so hit it. If you want to support your creators, that's how you do it. Black and gold. I think Fields would be better in the long run for us, but if we do win a Super Bowl in the next 3 seasons with Russ, would it be worth it then to look for our next quarterback when he leaves? This is what I think, black and gold. This is what I think the Steelers need to be thinking. Needs to be their thought process. If I'm the front office staff of the Pittsburgh Steelers, I extend Russell Wilson and I try to go after in the next draft or two that next quarterback for the Steelers franchise. I ride with Russell. I try to lock Russell up for 3 years with that back end of that deal easily escaped by the Pittsburgh Steelers if possible. And I pay Russell a very front-loaded contract that allows me the opportunity to get out of it. And I try to find my next guy. And I'm sorry, guys, Justin Fields isn't going to be that guy. And I know a lot of you like him. I do too. I thought that he was going to be a real big mistake, but that guy worked hard over the offseason. And he got the Steelers a 4-2 record and really showed a good change and progression. But he earned himself a contract, and that's going to be somewhere else, not with the Steelers. So, yeah, I think that's the thought process where the Steelers got to be right now. He won with Big Ben, Giovanni Brown. Browns are better. That was a lucky game. Browns suck, dude. I hate to say that, man. I hate to be ignorant to people, but Giovanni or whatever your name is, my friend, Browns are fucking bad, bro. And this is why. Their front office is fucking horrid. It's just bad. And I feel bad for the Browns fan base because you guys are passionate and you buy into all the bullshit because you want your team to win so badly. But they fumble everything, man. They just screw up everything. And until there's some changes there, I just think you're just going to be in perpetual fan hell, my friends. That's just what it's going to be, man. You can't even come in and say Browns are better. They don't do nothing. They don't win nothing, man. Very, very weird times they'll win a game or a playoff game or something. But they are just historically horrible. And those are the facts, man. And I know people will say Steelers suck and Steelers won their Super Bowls in the 70s. They've won modern day Super Bowls. It is what it is, dude. The Steelers are a class franchise that knows how to win. And the Browns aren't that. And that's just the difference. Cowher had a young Big Ben and barely got it done. Yeah, true. He barely got it done, but he got it done. Chris needs a win. So did Mike. He got it done with Cowher's team, too. They got it done. They both have a Super Bowl. That's good. I applaud it. Huttafoot. Can't beat the Chiefs. They might make it a close game, but they are playing for the first seed. Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I will see what happens. D's G, hope you don't think Russell Wilson winning you a Super Bowl, do you? Here's the thing, man. I'm a realist, and I look at everything from a realistic point of view. And is it possible? Absolutely. Is it likely? No. I look at it through a real truthful point of view and a truthful set of glasses here. I don't look at it with my fan hat on. Now, when the game's on, that's the reason I don't do live streams for the game, because first of all, I don't want to talk during the game because I'm into it. And that's when my fan talk comes in. Right now, I'm giving you the honest truth about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're a beat-up football team. Hopefully, they're getting their reinforcements back. But when they're fully healthy or close to it, they are a very dangerous football team, and they can beat anybody, and that includes the Chiefs. And they've proved that. And I'm just going to tell you, I wouldn't want to play the Pittsburgh Steelers if they were the healthy team and I wasn't. Just saying. LOL, do it all the time on the Steel Twins. Damn spam. Yeah, I don't know who the Steel Twins are. You guys have mentioned them several times. I might have seen a short or something. I don't know who they are. TD, hey, Jason, what's up, TD? Black and gold, yeah, he had concrete feet. Miss Pittsburgh waving that terrible towel. Daniel Warman, Jason, does the team have any say on the schedules? I have so much respect for Russ, such a great guy. Man of God, bless him. He throws the prettiest spiral. He does, man, no doubt about it. And no, the teams do not have any say inside of the schedule. That's something the league does. They don't get any say, definitely. Let me see how long we've been going. Oh, about 55 minutes. We'll keep going for a little bit longer. Same haters. The party's over, Bubba. Party's over, Bubba. Party's over, Bubba. Party's over, Bubba. Why do people... All right, guys, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the best damn live show on YouTube. That is here on Mic Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason. As always, make sure you are tuning in each and every day. Again, make sure you hit that like button for us. It's free. It's easy. Shit is cheap. Hit that. Double tap that screen. And again, thank you so much. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Check out our daily uploads, our daily live shows. We are just churning and burning here at Mic Drop Sports. We're about to get to that 4,000 subscriber mark. We only need like 200, I think, if that. So we are about right there, and hopefully we hit close to that there tonight. Maybe we got a lot tonight. We'll see. Eric, when's the last time y'all won anything? Quote the Raven. When's the Ravens won anything? The Steelers have 6 Super Bowls. That's enough. We're good. The Ravens don't have that, and Lamar Jackson's never won a big game. Eric, the truth hurts people when you try to start saying things that are just out of pocket, man. Don't, just be honest with yourself. You haven't won anything either. And you haven't beat the Steelers in how long? Lamar Jackson, again, may I remind you, is a second contract player that has only gotten his second win against the Pittsburgh Steelers here Sunday. That was it, Saturday. Buddy, that's not good. I'm just saying, be a realist with yourself. Don't lie to yourself and act like, you don't have any deficiencies. Yeah, we'll just not. I'd rather have Wilson than Big Old Ben against the Chiefs Wednesday. Me too, Chris. We need a new DC. Austin with his soft zone. We can't let these quarterbacks, especially in the AFC, tear us up in the secondary. Actually, where the Steelers have been bad is when they play sole man. To be honest with you, the zone has been better for the Steelers. But what they need to do is play a lot of combination coverages, and that's what you need to do if you're Terrell Austin. And I understand he limits the blitz. I think you need to see a little bit more of the blitz mixed in and a little bit more combination coverages in terms of like press man on the edges and allow that soft zone in the back end. That's how I think you should play it. But again, I'm not Terrell Austin and the Steelers aren't going to listen to me. And two, what made the Steelers have success offensively at times? They were using some motion. They were using some things in order for Russell to identify matchups and coverages, and that's where he was getting good at getting out of the pocket, moving around. And we'll see how that all works out with the Chiefs defense. That's very, very good. But again, this is short rest week for both teams, and they're coming in, and the Chiefs are playing on the road. I just don't think that it's... I think the Steelers can get it done. All right, guys, I got to get off here, man. My voice hurts, and it's Christmas time, and I don't want to spend 2 hours on the live stream, but we do it about an hour each day. So, again, if your question and comment wasn't received or heard, make sure you jump in there, man, tomorrow and hit that back up. Thanks, TD, for getting those. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you to all my regular people that are in here every day, man. You guys that are loyal, Mic Drop Mafia fanatics, you guys are awesome. You guys are the best. We truly appreciate you as always. All of you new subscribers, thank you so much. And everybody that hit that like button today, thank you again. And I'm very humble and thankful to have such an active live stream each and every day. It is such a blessing. So thank you. And don't forget, Sean and I will be live this Wednesday or whatever day it is, Christmas Day, talking Steelers football pre and post game. So all you Sean fans, make sure you join us for that and come say hi to your boy, and we will be getting it done. So until tomorrow, I'm Jason. This is Mic Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live. Peace, my friends.